Single dad skipped his big interview to save a stranger in the earthquake. Hours later, Ethan Parker's morning had started like the most important one of his life. A crisp suit, a nervous smile, and his 8-year-old daughter Lily, sitting on the couch holding a hand-drawn good luck card that said, "You can do it, Daddy." That day, Ethan was supposed to walk into the biggest job interview of his career, a management position that could finally pull them out of the tiny apartment and end the years of scraping by. But fate had other plans. As he locked the door and stepped outside, the ground trembled beneath his feet. A deep rumble echoed through the street, and in seconds chaos erupted. Windows shattered, alarms screamed, and people ran in every direction. It was an earthquake. Ethan grabbed Lily's hand and ran toward open space, heart pounding. Buildings swayed like trees in the wind. Dust filled the air, and then he heard it. A scream, a woman's voice, somewhere nearby. He turned to see part of a small cafe collapsed, trapping someone inside. People shouted, some ran, but most froze. Ethan looked at Lily, terrified, clutching his arm. "Stay right here, sweetheart," he said, kneeling down. "Daddy has to help." "Don't go, Daddy, please," she cried. "I'll be right back." Without another word, he dashed toward the rubble. He didn't know who the woman was. He didn't know if the building would come down on top of him. All he knew was someone needed help. He clawed through broken bricks and twisted metal, ignoring the blood on his hands. Then he saw her, a woman in her early 30s, pinned under a wooden beam, struggling to breathe. "I've got you," he said, voice shaking. "Please." "My leg," she gasped. Using every ounce of strength, Ethan lifted the beam enough for her to slide free. Dust covered them both. He carried her out, his back straining, just as another tremor hit and the rest of the wall collapsed behind them. When they reached safety, Lily ran into his arms, sobbing. The woman coughed, whispering, "You saved my life." But when Ethan looked at his watch, his heart sank. The interview, gone. Hours later, as ambulances and rescue teams arrived, Ethan sat on the curb beside Lily, exhausted. He'd lost his chance at a better life. But when she hugged him and said, "I'm proud of you, Daddy," he smiled through the dust. That night, after making sure the woman was safe, he went home. The power was out. The city was silent except for distant sirens. He tucked Lily into bed and whispered, "Everything will be okay." The next morning, a knock came at his door. Standing, she nodded slowly, emotion flickering in her eyes. "Ethan Parker," she repeated, almost as if trying to remember it forever. Then she added quietly, "I'm Olivia Grant." Ethan blinked. The name sounded familiar, but his brain was still foggy from the chaos of yesterday. "I wanted to thank you," Olivia continued. "You risked everything. For a stranger." He smiled faintly. "You don't need to thank me. I just did what anyone would do." "Not anyone would," she said, her voice steady but warm. "Most people ran away." Ethan shrugged, trying to deflect the praise. "Well, I ran too. Just in the wrong direction, I guess." They both laughed, the kind of laugh that comes only after surviving something terrifying. Olivia looked around the small, worn apartment, the old sofa, the flickering lamp, Lily's drawings on the fridge. "This is a nice home," she said softly. "It's small," Ethan replied, "but it's ours." Lily peeked from the hallway, shy but curious. Olivia smiled and knelt. "You must be the brave little girl I saw yesterday." Lily nodded. "Daddy saved you," she said proudly. Olivia's eyes glistened. "Yes, he did." After a few moments, Olivia stood and handed Ethan a small envelope. "I know you missed something important yesterday," she said. "Your interview, right?" He frowned. "Yeah, but that's okay. There'll be others." She hesitated, then smiled in a way that made Ethan feel both surprised and confused. "I certainly hope so, because I'm the director of that company." Ethan froze. "Wait, what?" Olivia nodded. "You were supposed to meet me at 11 a.m. yesterday. I was waiting in the office when the quake hit." He stared, speechless. "I didn't know your name until the hospital staff told me who pulled me out," she said. "When I saw it on the report, I couldn't believe it. The man who saved my life was the one I was supposed to interview." Ethan couldn't find the words. I had no idea." Olivia smiled. You showed me more about leadership and character than any resume ever could. If you're still interested, the position's yours." For a moment, silence hung between them, the kind that comes before tears or laughter. Then Ethan exhaled, eyes glistening. Lily squealed, hugging his leg. "Daddy, you got the job!" He laughed, shaking his head in disbelief. "Looks like I did." Olivia extended her hand. "Welcome to the team, Mr. Parker, and thank you for saving me." Ethan took her hand, feeling something shift inside, a strange mix of relief, gratitude, and quiet awe. As Olivia turned to leave, she paused at the door. "Sometimes," she said softly, "the universe makes us miss the things we think we need, so it can give us the things we deserve." Ethan stood there for a long moment after she left, holding Lily close. The city outside was still rebuilding, but inside that little apartment, that everything finally felt steady again. And that day, Ethan Parker realized, sometimes, the greatest opportunities come disguised as moments of pure humanity. Ethan Parker की आंखें फिर से वाइड हो गई. "Wait, you're the director?" उसने शक से पूछा, अभी भी डस्ट और थकान के बाद. Olivia Grant ने हाँ में सर हिलाया. "Yes, I was supposed to meet you yesterday morning, but the earthquake changed everything." Ethan ने हाथ अपने सर पर रखा, realizing कि जो sacrifice उसने किया, actually उसका career और life बदल सकता है. I saved your life and I missed the interview. I never expected." Olivia smiled softly. "Ethan, what you did showed courage, character, and selflessness. Those aren't things a resume can ever show. I know now. You're exactly the person I want leading my new project." Ethan felt a mix of disbelief and relief. "You mean, the job? It's still mine?" "Yes," Olivia said, her voice warm, "if you're willing. And Lily," she added, kneeling slightly to meet the girl's eyes, "you have an amazing dad." Lily ran into Ethan's arms, hugging him tightly. "Daddy, you got the job!" Ethan laughed, tears welling in his eyes. Looks like saving a stranger was worth it after all. Olivia stood to leave, then paused at the door. Sometimes life gives us a choice between what seems urgent and what truly matters. You chose wisely. Ethan looked at Lily, smiling through the exhaustion. The city outside was still recovering, but inside their small apartment, hope and opportunity had never felt more real. From that day on, Ethan Parker realized, acts of selflessness don't just change lives, they can open doors we never even knew existed.